Let's start with a quote. What famous socialist do you think said this? No society can surely be flourishing and happy of which the far greater part of the members are poor and miserable. That would be Adam Smith, the founder of modern capitalism. My sort of perspective on the current economic mentality worldview is Gordon Gekko's famous quote, "Greed is good, greed works." Gordon Gekko is a fictional character espousing a fictional worldview, in my opinion. What does that look like in an industry? Well, let's take a look at fisheries. Large-scale fisheries employ far fewer people, millions of people less than small-scale, receive 5 times, $25 billion in subsidies. And the catch for human consumption? About the same. So in my experience, there are a few drivers that really influence us as individuals in our purchasing decisions. Time, I have limited time in my daily life. Value, the lowest price, that's the best deal. Convenience, shopping is just inconvenient in general. I just want to get through it. And status, the nicer my things, well, the better my life. But do those needs really isolate us from our community? And where has that really led us? This slide is an homage to the Occupy movement that's come about in the last year. While the 1% grow in wealth and luxury, the rest of us are having a hard time keeping up. But is there an alternative? Well, numerous studies over the last decade have shown that for every $100 that we spend, a vast majority stays in the local economy when we spend it with locally owned and independent businesses. In other words, you're damn right there is. And so what does a strong local economy look like? Well, there's a myriad of different sectors and industries that contribute. Distribution system, food production, professional service, independent retail, artists, craftspeople, all coming together to create local wealth, local opportunities, and local prosperity. And local business networks like the one that I helped to found are working every day around the world and around the country to help foster that system. So what do? Well, we educate. We're out in the community, having a dialogue, putting out publications, putting out messages, having conversation about why these issues are important. We convene. We bring people together, stakeholders, policymakers, local businesses. We advocate. We talk to policymakers, decision makers in our community, and encourage them to make the right decisions for the long-term sustainability of our local economy. We organize and support. We bring together locally owned, independent business people who find their world to be so isolating at times, and we give them a structure and a system for support. And we try to make it a better party. The growth of local networks has been staggering. In 2002, there were fewer than 10 networks like this around the country. In 2009, over 130 of us existed. In our recent holiday campaign, Shift Your Shopping, over 150 different organizations from all around the country participated, representing literally tens of thousands of independent businesses, encouraging individuals like you and I to buy locally for the holidays. And through these grassroots efforts, networks like us create an authentic movement from the grassroots, with over 40,000 independent businesses currently organized, striving to create real behavior change in individuals, just like you and me. There's so much noise in our world. I don't think that's an idea that needs to be spread. Work, family, email, marketing, messaging. There's just a ton of sort of static in our life. So how do we break through? How do we actually create this behavior change? How do we get into people's minds and get them to change the way that they do things? Well, we convene dialogue in social media. We put out what we think, we ask others what they think, and together we learn. We convene community among our members, bring together independent business owners to find community amongst each other. Local shopping is just by its nature more personal. Relationships are created. That's a key point that you'll see throughout this presentation, and by making it a better party. Local works. Here are a couple of case studies from Somerville. This is Dave. Dave's the owner of Dave's Fresh Pasta here in Somerville, and clearly someone who has a lot of love in this room. Now, Dave's Fresh Pasta expanded in 2008 and 2009, in the worst economy any of us have ever seen and hopefully will ever see, creating jobs around local food. If you've been to Dave's, you know local food is important to what they do and important to the people who go there. So he's creating quality jobs, he's supporting the local food system, and he's convening community through a business. This is Andy. Andy runs Truly Good Design here in Somerville. And from day one, the mission of his organization was to support local businesses. He lives the values of the local movement in his business, serving local markets, helping local businesses grow and thrive, creating local relationships, and building the local movement. These are the people in your neighborhood, that famous phrase. That's what's so great about local business people. They're the person that you see around the corner. Local scales. Not this one, though there is justice in what we do, but scales for growth. We advocate for local economies everywhere. It's local first, not only or always. Think of it as concentric circles. Start in your neighborhood, move outside to your community, your region, your nation, your planet, but choose independent and fair wherever you are. Or in other words, you can still eat bananas. Yay. Local's not about putting up walls. Local's about creating relationships. There are many challenges in our world: strife, joblessness, economic uncertainty, protests everywhere. But in our world, money is power. That's what I believe, and that's probably what you believe too. And collectively, depending on whose estimate you believe, 60 to 70% of our annual economy is consumer spending. We have the power. We take our wallets out every single day. We write checks, run credit cards every single day. And we can throw them away, or we can make an impact with our purchases. We have the power. Local brings together purchasing and relationships, a community and an economy, a Communeconomy. And while the basis of local economies is economic, local is really about the love. Loving our neighbors, loving our local businesses, and loving our community. And a world that has more opportunity, more prosperity, and more love is something that I think we all want. And that's why it's an idea worth spreading.